If you clicked on this video considering the title, you're probably here for one thing, and that is, what the hell is a PE ratio anyways? So I won't waste your time with small talk. Just real quick, my name is Derek and I got my degree in finance, so you don't have to. Today is day 18 of 100 Days of Finance, where the entire goal is to give you more personal finance education in 100 days than most people receive in their entire lifetime. Let's get right into the video. The PE ratio, or price to earnings ratio, is a commonly used financial metric used to evaluate the value of a company's stock. The PE ratio is calculated by dividing the current price of a stock by its earnings per share, or EPS, of the last 12 months. This ratio provides a quick way to assess the relative value of a company's stock in comparison to its earnings. It's best shown in an example, so let's do that. If a company's stock is trading at, say, $10, and there are 1,000 shares outstanding, and over the last 12 months, this company has made $1,000, this is how you would go about calculating its PE ratio. First, you'd need to know the earnings per share, or EPS. The total earnings is $1,000 and there are 1,000 shares outstanding. So earnings per share is the amount of earnings that could be given to each share equally. In this example, that would mean $1,000 of earnings divided by 1,000 shares outstanding for $1 per share, or $1 EPS. Now that we have that, let's find the PE ratio. You would take the price of the stock, which is $10 in this example, and divide it by its EPS, which in this example is $1. 10 divided by 1 equals 10. So the PE ratio of this example company is 10. Now this number means that you are basically paying in advance for 10 years worth of earnings when you buy this stock. But by itself, this number virtually means nothing. And that is because PE ratio should be used as a comparison tool. Let me explain. The PE ratio can be used to compare the valuation of different companies in the same industry. For example, if two companies in the same industry have similar growth prospects, the one with the lower PE ratio may be considered the better value because you are paying less for the same amount of potential growth. But that isn't always the case, and that is because usually the better positioned company will have a higher PE ratio, which indicates that investors have high expectations for the company's future potential growth. So in reality, the PE ratio cannot by itself be used to value a company's stock. What it is best used for is sort of a warning indicator for if something is extremely over or undervalued. And you can find this out by comparing the company's PE ratio to the average PE ratio for the industry. For example, if a company has a PE ratio of, say, 15, and the industry average is, say, 12, at first glance, that company looks to be overvalued, but you also need to dig deeper into that company. Is there a reason why it is slightly overvalued? Does it have the best prospects in the industry? Did it win a huge contract that other companies did not? If there is a valid reason, then it may not matter that the company is slightly overvalued. But if that same company's PE ratio is instead 37 and the industry average is 12, then there would be very few valid reasons as to why that company is so overvalued as opposed to the rest of the industry. So PE ratio acts sort of like a warning or an indicator to check and compare against the average to make sure that you are not getting ripped off when you are looking to buy a stock with strong growth prospects. And of course, it is important to note that PE ratio in isolation should not be used to make potential investment decisions. Other factors like the company's financial health and competitive landscape, and macroeconomic conditions like is the industry dying or is it growing, should all be considered. And that is why, as we continue our journey of 100 Days of Finance, we're going to cover some other very important financial ratios that you can use together with PE ratio to better understand a company's value. So feel free to subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss those videos. I hope this video was easy to watch and helped you better understand what a PE ratio is. In tomorrow's video, we are going to cover what market capitalization is, which is another very important investing concept. So make sure to turn on the bell notification as well so you don't miss that. I love this stuff, you guys. It's been my passion for over a decade, and I love to be able to share that with you. As always, my name is Derek, and I got my degree in finance so you don't have to, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.